Hi, I'm Kathy Fox Alfano, host of Born TV's Primary 22, Why Should We Vote For You? Today, my guest is Nurse Dan Sullivan, Republican candidate for U.S. Congress, the 9th Congress District. Dan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. My name is Dan Sullivan. I'm a Republican candidate for U.S. Congress in the 9th Congressional District, which includes the South Shore, the South Coast, the Cape, and the Islands. I'm a common sense conservative. I'm a registered nurse. I'm a labor union member, and I'm a concerned citizen, voter, and taxpayer. I am not a politician, and I do not want to become a career politician. I grew up in a working middle-class family where my father was a public school teacher and my mother was a homemaker. Together they raised 6 children. They filled our house with love and laughter. They taught us the value of good education and the importance of a strong work ethic. We never had everything we wanted in our lives as children, but we never went without. My parents were great providers and caregivers. My upbringing wasn't privileged, but I was truly blessed. I went on to earn 4 college degrees. I got a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing and an Associate's degree in Nursing from Regis College. I also have a Master's of Arts and a Bachelor's of Arts in Political Science from Marquette University. I worked in sales and business development for companies ranging from Fortune 1000 down to startups. During the Great Recession in the Obama presidency, I decided to pursue more meaningful work. So I went to nursing school on nights and weekends for 4 years while I worked full-time during the day to earn my nursing degrees and my nursing license. I work as a registered nurse in an acute care hospital in Brockton. We primarily serve a large local immigrant population, mainly Cape Verde and Haitian. I have to tell you, I love my job. I love my coworkers. I love my patients. I work with an incredible team of compassionate, caring, and competent professionals that strive to seek optimal health outcomes for our patients and their families. I am a labor union member. I belong to the Massachusetts Nurses Association and the American Nurses Association. I'm a proud father to my son, who works as an engineer and is newly engaged, and a proud uncle to 12 nieces and nephews.
Here in Bourne, we have 2 very concerning environmental issues. We are looking at both Holtec, wanting to dump radioactive waste into the Cape Cod Bay on our north side, and then the possibility of a wastewater outfall discharging into the Cape Cod Canal, very near homes and beaches. What can you do to stop these potential environmental disasters?
First of all, the whole idea of Holtec dumping radioactive wastewater into Plymouth Bay and Cape Cod Bay is completely outrageous. I spent my youth summering in Plymouth. Some of my fondest childhood memories are on the shores and the beaches of Plymouth Bay and Cape Cod Bay. So I strongly believe that we need to perform CPR in our environment. And CPR to me means conservation, preservation, and reservation of our natural resources and our environment. So if I were elected, I would use the full force of the government to conserve and preserve Cape Cod Bay from pollution, from toxins and polluters.
Public libraries are close to my heart, but trying to renovate or build a library for this century is an arduous and decades-long project. What can you do to add more funding and easier process for our libraries?
Sure. So I believe that public libraries are a great asset to our communities. I believe that libraries go hand in hand with learning for people of all ages. If I were elected, I would work with the committees that serve appropriations and budgets to make sure that our states and our communities have appropriate funding to preserve public libraries, which I believe are an important part of the public trust in our communities.
Do you believe in banning books?
Generally, I oppose banning books. The question arises, who's doing the banning and what's the reason for the banning? I think it's a slippery slope down to the road of authoritarianism and totalitarianism that most common sense, level-headed Americans would oppose. That being said, I do support age-appropriate books. I do not support public libraries and public schools exposing our children, particularly our prepubescent children, to sexually explicit material. So banning, generally no. Age appropriateness, yes.
Housing on the Cape has historically been difficult. Now it's crazy. And I'm not just talking about finding a beach house for the summer. I'm talking about teachers and firefighters, people in the service industry, even medical workers can't find an affordable place to live here. It will affect all of us if we don't have these folks in our community. What can you do to help alleviate this crisis?
Well, affordable housing is a major issue for every working, middle class, and senior, not only in this district, but in this state and across the country. And what we've seen recently is private equity and billionaires like Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates going into the residential marketplace, buying up supply and driving up the prices, making it much more unaffordable for everyday Americans to buy homes. So I think the first thing we need to do is we need to create tax incentives for owner-occupied residential properties and create tax disincentives for those that aren't. The second part of that is to provide the type of investment where we can build more affordable housing. That's a whole different discussion, but I think it's a matter of managing both supply and demand and taking private equity out of the home marketplace.
As a congressman, what specifically can you do to help Bourne and the Cape with the design and construction of the 2 new Cape Cod Canal bridges? What can you do to ensure that the $1 billion that is awarded to the state to construct these bridges comes in a timely manner?
That's a really big question. My biggest concern is that the new bridges could become the Big Dig 2.0. If you recall, the Big Dig was supposed to take less than 10 years to construct and $2.8 billion. Well, it actually took over 25 years and it took over $25 billion to build. And there's questions about the integrity of the project in general. So if elected, I would make sure that the federal government is providing oversight on the project from start to finish, from the cradle to the grave. Moreover, I would make sure that the Army Corps of Engineers have a hand in the whole project from start to finish.
And finally, Dan, why should we vote for you?
That's a big question, and this is an important election. So, that is a really big question. So, I am not a career politician. I do not want to become a career politician. I am very, like a lot of fellow Americans, I'm very unhappy with the direction of this country, and I'm very unhappy with the policies and the priorities of Joe Biden and the Congressional Democrats. I believe that they've left the working, the middle class, and our seniors behind in favor of deep pockets with big pharma, big tech, Wall Street, Hollywood, and billionaires like Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Michael Bloomberg, and the Koch brothers. I want to restore common sense conservatism to Congress. I want a constitutional government of the people, by the people, for the people. I don't care about partisan politics, and I don't care about the politics of personality. They only make the rich richer and make the rest of us poorer. I care about the policies and the priorities that impact ordinary Americans in our district, in our state, and in our country. One of the things I've learned in campaigning is that there are 2 types of candidates that I've found that run for office. There are those that want to be someone, and then there are those that actually want to do something. We can tell the difference. Those that want to be someone, they like to take photo ops. The people that want to do something talk about the issues that matter to us. Moreover, they want to do something to solve those issues. I work as a nurse. I advocate for my patients. Again, sometimes against the interests of my hospital, certainly against the interests of the insurance companies. But I advocate for my patients because I want to see optimal health outcomes for my patients and their families. That's what I want to do as your next representative in Congress. I want to advocate for all of us. I want I want equality of opportunity for all of us. I want peace and prosperity for all of us. I want health and happiness for all of us. And I just want a better America. I think our country is in the wrong direction, but I have faith, I'm an optimist, and I want to help turn this country into the right direction. So that being said, you do have a choice this September 6th. My primary is very unique. It is the only congressional primary election out of 18 statewide that is truly contested. No other primary has a contested election. And I think there's some real differences between me and the other candidate. So that being said, I hope that you keep me, Dan Sullivan, in mind. I hope that you do vote for me, Dan Sullivan, Nurse Dan for Congress, this September 6th. God bless America. God bless the people. And thank you for inviting me on Born TV.
Of course. And best of luck in the primary on September 6th. Yes, the day after Labor Day. You've been watching Primary 22, Why Should We Vote For You? On Born TV. You can watch all of my interviews on borntv.com. Please watch, meet all the candidates, and then you be the judge. Get out and vote.